The Samson video, often associated with the YouTube channel Steamboat TX, is considered one of the more compelling pieces of modern Sasquatch footage, primarily because it avoids many of the blobsquatch tropes. However, like all Bigfoot evidence, it remains highly controversial. Here is an unbiased breakdown of the video, based on the common analysis from the Bigfoot research community. The arguments for authenticity. Scale and mass. The figure in the video, nicknamed Samson, appears to have a massive frame that proponents argue is difficult for a human in a suit to replicate without looking bulky in the wrong places. The shoulder-to-head ratio is often cited as being physiologically different from a human. Muscular definition. Analysis of the footage, particularly stabilized versions, suggests muscle movement under the skin/fur, especially in the back and legs. Standard off-the-shelf ghillie suits or gorilla costumes typically don't show individual muscle groups firing. Natural movement. The creature's gait and the way it navigates the dense East Texas brush appear fluid. It moves with a heavy compliance, slight knee bend, that is often associated with the Patterson-Gimlin film. The arguments for skepticism. The ghillie suit theory. Skeptics argue that the lighting and the texture of the fur are consistent with a high-end professional ghillie suit or a custom-made suit used by hunters or filmmakers. Because the footage is shot in a wooded area with dappled sunlight, the texture of a suit can easily be mistaken for organic hair. Lack of physical context. Like many YouTube sightings, the video lacks a, quote, before and after scale reference. Without someone of a known height standing in the exact same spot, it is impossible to prove if the creature is 8 feet tall or a 6-foot human. The source. The channel Steamboat TX has been a subject of debate. While the footage is high quality, some researchers find it too convenient that such clear footage was captured in a way that perfectly frames the creature without a clear view of the face, which is usually the hardest part of a costume to fake. Unbiased conclusion. If you view the video as a biological study, it is impressive because of the apparent weight and fluid movement of the subject. It doesn't feel like a person stumbling through the woods in a heavy suit. However, if you view it as legal/scientific evidence, it falls short because it cannot be verified. In the world of Bigfooting, the Samson video sits in the high-quality unidentified category. It is significantly better than 99% of the videos on the internet, but without physical evidence, DNA or hair samples from the site, it remains a compelling mystery rather than a proven fact. That specific context, the 8-foot 4-inch fence, is a game-changer for the Samson footage. In the world of cryptid analysis, scale is everything, and the existence of a side-by-side comparison video significantly elevates the discussion from opinion to photogrammetry. Here is an updated perspective based on that specific measurement. The scale analysis. If the fence is verified at 100 inches, 8 feet 4 inches, the figure in the Samson video becomes one of the most statistically significant subjects ever filmed. The height factor. In the footage, Samson appears to be nearly level with, or even slightly taller than the fence line as it moves. If a human were standing next to an 8-foot fence, they would typically look quite small. A 6-foot person would only reach about 72% of the way up. The proportions. If the subject is indeed over 8 feet tall, its width and mass must be proportional. A human in a suit would struggle to maintain that level of fluid movement while wearing the 2 to 3 feet of padding or stilts required to reach that height. Why the standing next to the fence video matters. The fact that Steamboat TX uploaded a comparison video is a classic move in serious Bigfoot research. It addresses the skeptic's burden of proof by providing a known constant, the human baseline. By standing next to the fence, the uploader provides a visual ruler. If the uploader is, say, 6 feet tall and looks dwarfed by the fence, but the creature looked equal to it, it makes a man in a suit explanation almost physically impossible unless the person was on drywall stilts, which would make walking through Texas brush without falling very difficult. The lingering question. The primary hurdle for this video, even with the fence measurement, is verification of the fence itself. Perspective bias. Skeptics often look at forced perspective. If the creature was actually several feet behind the fence, it could appear larger than it is. However, if the creature is seen interacting with or passing directly behind/in front of the fence, that argument falls apart. The hoax effort. If this is a hoax, it's an incredibly high-effort one. It would require a custom-built suit designed for an 8-foot scale, likely requiring a very tall athlete or sophisticated mechanical extensions, which is far beyond the typical guy in a gorilla suit prank. Final take. With the 8 feet 4 inches fence as a reference, the Samson video moves from a cool video to a biological anomaly. If that measurement is accurate, you aren't looking at a person. You are looking at either a world-class special effects project or a genuine unclassified primate. Would you like me to try and find any specific forums or breakdown threads where researchers have calculated the exact